I guess it helps if I play the thing.
We'll play the video here for you guys. I know we got one watching already. I can see if it'll play on my end. All right, what's going on, Todd?
What's going on? Well, if I could figure out all this technical stuff, I'd be doing a pretty good job here.
Oh, no worries. We got it all figured out. We were able to get it started. So, what's going on, guys? I know we had Schnurley and then Harrelson, and now we got Kenneth the Wiz.
The Wiz. What's up, Wiz?
Hopefully, we get a couple more folks hopping on, and then we'll be able to get started on talking about some of the Lake Kissimmee event that's coming up, and kind of some things that we're looking forward to here in the remainder of the year. So, we'll have some folks hop on, and we'll get started.
Evan's on here.
My wife is doing dishes right now, so can y'all hear it?
That's every Thursday night at 7:00, ain't it?
Every night. Never fails. She'll come in and decide to do the dishes. So, I like the sticker promotion there you did on the bottom of your cup. That's
you like that?
That's great. Yeah.
Got to promote the club every chance you get, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And the company, Quilco Printing, right here.
Oh yeah.
That's an awesome. Good looking shirt. What's going on, Evan? I see you hopped on here. Again, we're gonna wait for a couple folks. Go ahead if you're watching. Drop your name in the comment section below so we know who's hanging out with us, and we'll get started here in just a few minutes. So, if you notice anybody's missing, Sean, he may pop on here in the middle of the broadcast, but he is currently out playing Army in the woods with some college students. So, yeah. But he might hop on here with some green. I called him earlier, and he had like army green like face paint on. Like he's been running through the woods all day, so he may hop on. So
I'll go ahead and throw this out here. We got to get some anglers signed up for Kissimmee.
Where we at?
We are currently sitting at 4, and of course, the way it goes, everybody waits till the last minute. But we'd love to get everybody signed up earlier.
Kenneth said Vibe Kayak here. Hopefully we can get you into something a little bit different. So yeah, payday normally. We know Thomas will sign up normally on payday. No problems there. I know we haven't really started pushing out the registration for the Kissimmee event yet. So that was what I was going to do for this live, is post that it's been live for a few days now, but we'll really start pushing it out here for the next couple weeks to get folks signed up for that event. It's going to be a great event. So looking forward to doing that. And then it's Christmas holidays. It's almost December 1st. That's crazy. So crazy.
I know.
Wow. We're looking forward to it though. I mean, we're about to be getting into the new year. So Mitchell and I will be racing on Fells this weekend. Oh yeah, that's right. They got their first Central Florida Bass event this weekend.
Yeah.
On Fellsmere and Stickmar, so that should be exciting. I've just seen back and forth on Facebook. There's quite a few of the FKBT folks that are going to be out there participating in that. I was planning on it, but not going to be able to now. Don't have a vehicle, so.
Yeah, and we'll say good luck to all the guys out there that's part of the club that's fishing that. So hope y'all do well. Hope y'all bring home some hardware.
That's right.
Cabbage this weekend.
Y'all got a chance to go out there and fish it already, so you kind of know what it looks like. I mean, me and Sean went out to Fellsmere last Friday, and did some fishing, and we caught a bunch of fish, a ton of fish, but I mean, I sat in one spot for an hour and a half and I caught 30, 35 fish. So, I mean, nothing of crazy size, but I mean, it was definitely a great spot to have some fun. I throw pretty much anything in that little area, and I was catching fish. So, should be fun. I was hoping I get to go out there and fish it, but I had to turn my truck in to get maintenance, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting it back in time. So, good luck to all you, though. It should be a fun event. Fish should be biting. Saw a couple.
We're going to have to get you a new truck.
I know. But the Dodge Ram is not cutting it right now. So they found an oil leak. They found radiator fan issue. I mean, it's been a big ordeal. So we're trying to get it fixed. But
good luck, man. Good luck.
Yeah, we got quite a few. We got 8 folks on here, I know, but I know there are probably going to be a lot of folks watching this. This is going to be a good video for you guys to watch if you're watching this later on and not watching it when we're live. About the Kissimmee event, there's some minor changes to some of the details to the tournament, so we're going to go through all of that. Again, Sean is going to be your go-to to answer any of the boundaries or available boat launches, but I will definitely do my best to answer or we can do our best to answer those questions here. So Todd, if you could pull up that Facebook page on your other screen, the post that he made, just so that we can we'll go down that and answer any questions you may have. But something that I'll do is I'll bring up and start talking about some of the fishing chaos stuff. So first, before we jump into the Kissimmee event, I want to go ahead and go through and let you guys know that we're wrapping up the November monthly. So I will be creating the December monthly on Fishing Chaos, and that should be live before midnight tonight. So you guys can get registered and sign up for the December monthly event. Again, that's just an additional way for you anglers to submit fish from pre-fishing or other tournaments that you're doing. So if you're fishing the Fellsmere event for the Central Florida Bass, you can sign up for our FKB monthly and submit those same fish for that tournament to our monthly. So you have a chance at winning, an extra $200 is what it's averaging. $230 is what it's been averaging with 10, 11 people signing up. So just food for thought. That option's out there for you guys. Again, eligible waters for the monthlies is any lake that is on our schedule for the 2024 season is eligible bodies of water for you to fish on those monthlies and submit fish to. So I appreciate all the participation in that. This month it's looking like Doug Wilson is going to wrap up and take first place again with I think it's like 190 inches, and Chris Mitchell is behind with 160. But we only had 11 people signed up, so first place is going to be taken home roughly around the $200 to $230 dollar mark, and then whatever big bass was, I think was $80. So $80 or $90 for the big bass. So, and I think Doug Wilson also took home, let me look, the big bass as well. So yeah, Doug Wilson is first place with 192 inches or 192 and a half inches and 22 and a quarter inches for the November monthly. So congratulations to Doug. Unless someone's out there that's got a bunch of submissions, they need to get them in as soon as possible so that we can finish having our judges look over those and finalize all those results. So, but right now, as it sits, looking at the leaderboard, Doug is in first place for both. So congrats, Doug. I just saw him pop his name down here in the comment section. So congratulations to you again. I think this is his second or third monthly win. So he is taking home the victories. So who's going to get out there and challenge him and take over? Oh my God, Daniel Higgins is on here. Dude, shave that. No, it's staying. Who's going to take Doug Wilson off the number one spot for December? So let's make that. Whose goal is that going to be? I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm leaving, but definitely Sherman too. Sherman caught an 18 3/4, and Chris Mitchell was a close second with a 19 1/2. So congratulations to that. So again, December monthly will be live around 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. So if you're interested, get signed up. Now we'll jump into the Lake Kissimmee event, everything Lake Kissimmee. So if you guys have questions and you're not watching this live, reach out to myself, Sean, or Todd via Facebook. Our email address at floridakayakbasstrail@yahoo.com, or if you have our number, you can text us, and we will be there. Be sure to answer the questions that you guys have. So, real quick, I know, and we also, just a quick before we get started on that too, we're at 73 members, or we're actually, how much is 77 now, right? Since it's us, not counting us, we're at 77.
Yeah, let's see, 73 plus 4.
Yeah,
That's
77.
77.
So we're
So,
at 77 members, which we are, I think, 3 or 4 over what we had last year. And we had some folks that didn't sign up that were members last year. So we have a ton of brand new members to the FKBT this year. So that's phenomenal. That means that our club's getting out there and is being promoted. So fantastic job. The first 2 events, we've averaged over 40 anglers at both events. So let's make Kissimmee 3 in a row. For that, I know myself and Todd will not be participating in the Kissimmee event. We both have events going on either with work or family. So myself and Todd will not be competing. But however, we will be judging the fish submissions for this tournament, as well as our normal judges as well, just so that we can get those fish submissions judged as quickly as possible. Kenneth, someone just posted a wildly for okay, yeah, cool, awesome, Harrelson. So yeah, let's get into some of the Kissimmee details, and we will answer any questions you may have. So obviously the event's going to be on December 9th, right? So lines in is going to be at 7, lines out is at 3 p.m. Okay, we had a lot of folks reach out in the past week or two with Sean in regards to the some of the boundaries, and Sean has adjusted some of those boundaries and boat ramps. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. So some of the other details for the event is going to be like the event location, or where the post-event meetup is going to be, where the award ceremony is going to be at. So the award ceremony is going to be at Shady Oaks Park Boat Ramp. It's also known as Coleman Landing. The address for that is 1450 Shady Oaks Drive, Lake Wales. It's on the tournament dashboard. It's on Fishing Chaos. If you look right there, you can see all the information for the award ceremony if you need it. We'll post it on our members only page. We'll share it however we need to share it, but it is there for you guys to look at. The time for you guys to be at the award ceremony is going to be 4:30. So I know a lot of folks are saying that if they go to Joe Overstreet's boat ramp to get to Coleman Landing, it's like a 45-minute drive. Okay, we took that into consideration. We went to Coleman Landing for multiple reasons. One being that for the majority of all the boat ramps, it's a central-ist location as best as we could that could also provide us with a shaded or a covered facility to host our award ceremony and parking and all that good stuff. So whenever we come up with a location, all of those go into consideration. And that was the one that we came about with for this event. So make sure that you guys are communicating with us tournament directors. If you have to get off the water early for some reason, or you cannot make the award ceremony, that is fine. The main thing is you have to communicate with the tournament director so that we know that you're off the water. And then we will relay that to Sean to make sure that we don't go in and DQ your fish. So if you cannot make the award ceremony for whatever reason, family, whatever it is, you have to communicate with myself, Todd, or Sean Spears, or Chris Clutter. One of us 4, we will take your name down. We will put it in our group chat so that everyone's aware, and that your name don't get crossed out and your fish DQ'd for not being in at the mandatory check-in at the right time, or at the 4:30 time frame.
I would say, Bailey, real quick, sorry to interrupt, but preferably yourself or myself, if they can,
yes.
Or, message us on the members only page,
yes.
to us to let us know, and that will let all 3 of us know.
And also,
Yes,
there's a
ma'am.
messaging feature on Fishing Chaos. If you're familiar with it, you could send a message through Fishing Chaos, a chat, or an email. You can use the chat feature if you'd like, but we would say either through Messenger. We can post our phone number somehow, some way. Reach out to us, and I can give you my phone number. But if you go back and look, I think it's pretty. It is on the information on our Fishing Chaos or on our Facebook profile. If you look at the information, you'll see my number. As well as if you click on the tournament questions, you click the tournament questions, and there's a tab with a phone right there. That's going to call me directly. That's my direct line. Is if you click that little tournament questions button, it'll go right to my. That phone call will go right to me, and I'll be able to help you guys with whatever you need in regards to that. So again, 4:30 is going to be the mandatory check-in time, and award ceremonies will begin right at 4:30. With the weather or with the time change and the daylight savings time and it getting darker a lot quicker, we want to get you guys in there, get the award ceremony taken care of, and then get you guys back on the road so y'all can get home safely. So that is it. Lines in again, like I said, is going to be 7. You're going to be able to, earliest launch is an hour before lines in. So at 6 o'clock, you're going to be able to launch. If you guys are at a boat ramp and the boat ramp is packed and you guys can't park your kayak up on the bank, you guys are more than welcome to stay in the vicinity of the boat ramp, and then make sure that you guys can go underway at that after around 6 or after 6. So just be mindful of that. There are some tournaments that are going on some of these bodies of water at the same times ours are. So make sure you're being careful out there. Some other things, some safety things that I do want to touch on, because there's something that I noticed was the 360 light. Making sure that you check your batteries, make sure that your 360 light does work, and that it's good to go. Have extra batteries in your I always would say recommend you guys keep like a little mini toolkit on your kayak with batteries, with screwdrivers, whatever it is, just in case you guys run out of those, or you need something while on the water. Yeah, there is a big high school tournament on Mac this weekend. Yes. So if you guys are out there pre-fishing, be mindful of that as well. So yeah, so safety. We haven't had any major issues so far. The first event, we had a couple people flip or get knocked out of their kayaks. Nothing crazy on Toho that was reported to us, other than the fog that set in kind of after lines in. So make sure that you guys keep your head on the swivel. You have your high visibility flags being flown. You have your 360 white light, and if your kayak is powered by a trolling motor or a stern mount motor, that you have your 360 lights or your navigational lights and your registration with you.
I highly recommend too, Bailey, on this is keep a spare light, in your kayak somewhere. For example, on Toho, I guess somehow when I had my light turned off, maybe it got mashed or whatever, and the light stayed on, so it didn't work. It started working and then it just went dim. So I keep a spare, and I just zip tied it to my other light so that it still works. So
yeah,
just in case, you never know, what can happen or go on out there. The batteries I've had in there were a little bit old, so they didn't work.
yeah.
I just had to whip out the spare. So, always be prepared, because you never know what's going to happen out on the water.
That's right. And something Doug brought up as well, duck hunting. It is that time of the year. So I was out there. Okay. Thumbs up, I guess. I was out there last weekend, and there were quite a few duck hunters out where I was at. So just be mindful of that, and make sure that they know that you're there. So, high visibility, they're launching well before you get there. I promise. Their boats in the water, and they're waiting where they're at well before we're able to even get to our spot. So just be aware, keep your head on the swivel. If you hear gunshots, or you hear like the bird shots like landing near you, one, make it known that you're there. however you want to do so. We do have whistles. It is required by by the Coast Guard that you guys have all your mandatory safety, or like whistles, all your safety equipment on board your vessel, so, or your kayak. So make sure that you have that. And if you're getting rained on by birdshot, possibly blow your whistle and say, hey, let them know that you're over there, or get out of their way, move. And move to a different spot, just so that you're not getting pellets rained down on you. But we don't want anyone getting shot at while on the water. So be smart, keep your head on the swivel, but also be respectful. And if you have any issues or problems, again, reach out to myself or Todd this tournament, and we will be taking care of you for all of your needs. So real quick, are there any questions on Lake Kissimmee so far? So we covered the award ceremony, the time that it is required to be there. It's going to be 4:30 p.m. So that gives you an hour and a half to get off the water, load your stuff up, and get over to the event ceremony. What that might mean for some of you is you might have to be off the water right at lines out. So for those, I know there's quite a few that reached out to me and said, well, I normally like to fish till lines out. Well, unfortunately, just like in any of the Elite Series, MLF, you got to get back to the mandatory check-in at a certain time, and if not, you get penalized. So same thing kind of here. It's going to be up to your English responsibility to coordinate, and that's just a part of the whole process, is making sure that you plan enough time to get off the water, get everything put away, and then get to that check-in at the correct time. Anything afterwards, you guys already know what the consequences are for that. So just communicate with us if anything happens. Again, the main thing we're going to preach here is safety. If you're stranded out on the lake due to a battery failure or loss of power, whatever the case is, you need to communicate with myself or Todd or any of these tournament directors so that we can coordinate getting you taken care of. So that's our main priority here, is your safety. So that is why we are having these mandatory check-ins, because the feature on our app will not suffice for what we're trying to do here. So again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to us. But I'm going to have Todd pull up the Lake Kissimmee, and we're going to go through eligible boat ramps and the boundaries. So Joe Overstreet Landing, that is going to be on your northeast side or central east side of the lake. That is a public boat launch. That is one of the eligible boat launches. Okay. Next.
Let's see.
The next one, Coleman Landing. So for those of you that haven't been in Coleman Landing is also an RV like campground area as well. And on the backside of that area, there is a road. If you go straight through that little roundabout there, you'll go straight through. You will hit the boat ramp. And the pavilion is down on the south end by where that little green box is. That's where you're going to see a huge covered pavilion. That's where we're going to be having our post-event ceremony. So Coleman Landing is also an approved launch. You do not have to camp there to use that launch. You can get there. There's no gates. You can get there as early as you want. You can load up. Just make sure that you guys are parking. If you're using this boat launch to launch your kayak for the tournament, make sure that you park in the appropriate parking spaces and not right directly in front of the ramp, because those are meant for backing up on into the water.
Yes, and like Harrison said here, it is a paid ramp at Coleman.
Yes, you will have to bring cash and put it into a box. There's a little folder there. You fill out your name, whatever it is, and then you peel it off and you put that in your dashboard, and then you put the cash at the box by the boat ramp. Okay.
Next.
It's $5. Yes, thanks, Thomas. That fee there is $5 for Coleman Landing. Grape Hammock Fish Camp, that is just south of Coleman Landing, and it is also a public. It's like a fish camp. It's a grape hammock fish camp. That is also a public launch on the south end of Lake Kissimmee. So that is another option for you guys as well. Not sure what the fee is for that. Does anyone know what grape hammock is? Is it $5 as well? I'll have to look on their site. Sean will know. And then again, on the south end of the lake, the Kissimmee River Public Launch. That is it's right off. I think that's State Road 60, right there. So it is literally right off of State Road 60. You guys can launch from there, and head north of the lock. That is not a paid ramp. That's a public ramp. I've never launched there, but it's a public ramp. Then you have Lake Kissimmee State Park. We have received some questions about the Lake Kissimmee State Park. That is a public launch, but that park does not open up until after, I think it's 8 o'clock. So it will be an hour after lines in. So you're going to take some risk there. But if you wanted to, you could always launch from Coleman Landing and head north. I'm not sure how far north it is for a kayak ride, but you can fish Lake Kissimmee, or you can launch from the Lake Kissimmee State Park. If you're staying there, I think if you're camping at the state park, if that's an option, I'll look into that. And then you guys, it might be able to be used before that 8, but it might be if you are camping. Yeah. If you do a campsite there, I'm pretty sure you can utilize that launch before the 8 o'clock. But yeah, Coleman and Kissimmee Park is 8 miles, so that's a long pedal. So definitely, if you do your research before you choose which boat ramp you're going to do, to make sure if it's a paid boat ramp, if it's free, or if it's even open. So make sure that you do your homework on that end. Sean's post there should be able to answer your questions. Okay, keep going, Sean or Todd.
All right.
All right, and then Camp Mac, that's going to be up on your north end of that. So Camp Mac is also going to be an available launch point for your for this event. Okay. And then Camp Lester Fish Camp, you guys can launch from there. So we're giving you guys a ton of options to be able to launch. Camp Lester's, again, up on the north end of the lake. It seems like it's just south of or north of Camp Mac. So, okay. And then we're back to Joe Overstreet. Can you pull up what he had said for boundaries? If you click on it,
let me find it because it wasn't.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions on the available launches, again, they're all open, all public launches. You're going to be able to launch from. So make sure you guys do your homework. Make sure that you guys are at that award ceremony at the 4:30. Again, if you can't, communicate that with myself or Todd, and we will make sure that you're squared away. I know I already had Amy reach out to me. I appreciate you for being ahead of the game there and letting us know. That has been passed along to Sean and the team. So again, we're not doing this to kind of force your hand into it. It's a safety feature that we're instilling and making sure that everyone's off the water safely. And if they're not, we're able to identify that and make sure that those anglers are getting help. And it also allows us to meet the other anglers that we wouldn't get to do so if folks didn't show up to these events. So it serves a much greater purpose for our club, and a lot of folks I've seen show up are really getting to, embrace that. And I've gotten really good feedback from our award ceremonies. We've been giving away some great prizes, as well as creating some really good content for us to be able to share with our sponsors so that we can continue growing our club in the manner that we are wanting to grow. So I see Todd, you're scrolling, trying to find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Okay. It's not pinned to the top.
No.
Okay. Let me see if
not on mine at least.
Let me hop on there. I'll hop on there too. You can search in the, you can just search for it and say, where's it at? Boundaries. All right. I have, yep, that's East Toho. Oh, Lake Kissimmee boundaries and ramps. Okay, updated boundaries. Sean posted this on November 20th. Um, these are for the eligible waters. So we talked about the ramps a second ago. For the eligible waters, if you launch at Camp Mac or Camp Lester, you must move south of Camp Mac Road to be in eligible waters. So I know the link, the Google link that Sean posted on our members only page. I will actually do this now. I'm going to put at everyone. So you guys should be getting a notification here right now with those boundaries. If you click that link, it's going to pull up dropped pins. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dropped pins. Can you guys, I don't know, 7 drop pins. It should look like this. Okay. I'll let it kind of focus there. When you click those drop pins, it's going to give you, it should look like this. And this is an active map. So if you look at this right here, you when you're on the water, it will show a little blue dot as long as you share your location, or allow your location to be used when using Google Maps. It'll show you if you're in eligible water or not. So if you have any questions on if you are or not, just open up that link and see where you're at according to the red dots or the blue dots. So real quick, Doug said, please next year if you do Kissimmee, add Tiger and Rosalie. Doug, the reason Kissimmee's on the list and not Rosalie or Tiger is because it's what the anglers from last year when we sent out the list. So the same thing we did last year. We're gonna ask the anglers or the members to generate us a list of lakes they want to fish. And if you want Kissimmee, Rosalie, and Tiger, put Kissimmee, and then in parentheses put Rosalie and Tiger for also eligible waters. But when we sent that out, we populated that, and these are the results we got based on what our members wanted to fish. So that's how that why those other lakes aren't on there. But yeah, it definitely something that we can talk about for next year. But for this year, it's going to be Lake Kissimmee. Lake Kissimmee is a huge body of water that offers everything and anything that we could ask for as far as kayak anglers. So, all right. If you look here on the top on the northwest corner of the lake, you'll see what is that, Lester and Mac? It's a little slow on my end.
Yeah, it's real slow on mine too.
Okay, so we'll pull it off and I'll make a video and post it to our members only page through that so that we don't go through and do it here. But most of it, it'll tell you if he put comments in it. Those little red, if you hover over them or click it, it'll tell you have to be south of this marker. So no, yeah, Doug, I appreciate the input, but definitely whenever we reach for when we try to start planning out for next year's lakes, definitely we're going to want your guys' feedback. So add that to there for sure. So yeah, we'll just do that, Todd, just since it's lagging a little bit.
Yeah, it's
so
slow.
For Camp Mac or Camp Lester, if you're launching out of the northwest portion of the lake, you must be south of Camp Mac Road to be in eligible water. All anglers need to review these boundaries to prevent any possible DQs. No other changes are going to be made up to this point, just so that we don't eliminate water or open water where people have already not even pre-fished. So as of right now, those boundaries are going to be the boundaries for the Lake Kissimmee event. I'm going to reach out to Sean, and I'm going to have him make a post, if he hasn't already, with detailed boundaries for the river or for the stream or the rivers that are connected to it as well, because I don't think it is populating on, at least for me, on those, but it might be something I'm doing wrong. So let me see. Yeah, I'm going to have him add some notes into there because it's not populating on me, but I think it might be user error, to be honest with you. So we will get that to you guys if it makes it easier. But for the south, by the Kissimmee River boat launch, the very south end by State Road 60, you have to be north of the lock. Okay. So north of that lock to be in eligible water. There is a little bridge there. So that area right there is fair game. For the Lake Jackson, or there's a Lake Jackson, you guys cannot go past the, let me figure out what that road is. It's the Sailor Hammock Road. So for the river that goes from Kissimmee towards Little Lake or Lake Jackson, you cannot go under the Sailor Hammock Road bridge. Okay. There's a little blue dot. If you look at it, there's a little blue dot right there. You guys cannot go past that road. Okay. So for there's a creek north of the Joe Overstreet. There's a creek there that extends into some private property. You guys can go up into the 90. So if you look here on that map, you guys cannot extend on into that private property. You guys can go that far there and then no further. If we see fish being submitted in that river, on that creek in the middle of that private property, your fish will be DQ'd. As you go further north, there's also another creek on the northeast side of the lake. There's a blue dot up in that corner. You guys cannot go past that. Okay. Again, if you guys need to know where that's at, there is a little washout there. That is your furthest point. But if you are sharing your location is turned on, if your red dot is up here, you're out of play, out of eligible water. Your fish will be DQ'd. Okay. And then north of that, the furthest north you can go is these streams or these creeks are not labeled on me, so I apologize. But the furthest creek on the northeast part of the lake, again, you are going to see a washout, and you will see there on the very northeast. That's your furthest point that you can go on that creek. And again, I'm pretty sure those creeks are already not accessible. But if people try to get out to those areas, they are boundaries put on there. Let's go over to the creek leading into Tiger Lake on the west side. So for Camp Mac, you guys have to be underneath Camp Mac Road. So when you guys come out of Camp Mac or Camp, what's the other word? Or the other one? Camp, what's the one north of Camp Mac? What's the name of that? Huh? I forgot the name of it. Sorry. It's whatever. It's that those two boat ramps on the north end of the lake. You guys have to be south of Camp Mac Road. It's the bridge. It's the first bridge you're going to come. Lester, I appreciate it, Daniel. Lester, you will need to be south of that bridge in order to be in eligible water. You could fish the bridge by all means, but south of it. Okay. Going over into just south of the Lake Kissimmee State Park, and there's a creek that goes into Tiger Lake. Again, you guys will see there. There is let me pull it up. It's middle of the creek, or middle of that the creek that's there. Again, it's going to be your responsibility if you want to fish these creeks to know where you're at and if it's eligible or not. Again, I will talk to Sean about potentially opening it up to the mouth of Tiger Lake. I will talk to Sean, but right now we're at least giving you guys half of that creek. I'm not sure if it'll change, but I'll reach out to Sean just so it makes it easy for us and for you guys to understand where that clear boundary is, because I can see how that could be fairly challenging. So if you guys want to open it up, I'll reach out to Sean for that. Okay. Anything else?
Looking at most of these daily, going through on the FWC website, the majority of those ramps around are a paid ramp, either $3 to $5. So
Okay.
everyone be sure to bring some cash with you.
Can you please post that link either here on our in our chat or on our members only page for those anglers that don't know how to utilize or access the FWC page? Are there any questions, comments, or concerns on these boundaries with the creeks in play? I know we got a lot of feedback on these creeks and trying to open them up so that anglers can get some of the backwater and anglers that want to fish the main lake. I think we've done a phenomenal job as far as opening up as much water as we can for you guys so that we can meet everybody's needs or likes, I guess, as far as kayak fishing goes. Again, these bodies of water are not things that started or that me, Todd, Sean, and Chris Clutter just pulled out of our back pocket. We listened to what you guys wanted to fish, and that's why we selected that. If you guys want to fish more creeks and things of that nature, please, I'm gonna put a post up on our members only page so that when we're creating boundaries for these lakes, that we get a clear, defined, I guess, not a clear view on what you guys want as far as whenever you guys are fishing these lakes. We're not adding any other lakes to our schedule or opening up any other bodies of water than what we already have as of right now. So again, just keep that in mind. We'll make a post here in just a little bit to get some of your guys' feedback, and then we'll move forward with that. Cool. Everybody give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys are good to go so that we can move forward onto some other topics. Okay. So I don't see anything and I don't see any thumbs up. So either nobody is watching or we're good to go. Okay, I see it. Thanks, Frizzy. All right. So we're just trying to be as clear and concise and be as upfront as possible with you guys at the end of the day. We want you guys to come out and fish these events. We also want you guys to come out here and fish these events on water that you guys are comfortable fishing. I know for some anglers, a lot of them don't want to be out in the big lakes with the big boats. We get that. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure that we are meeting the wants and the needs and safety for everybody that's going to be fishing our events. I know we're not some huge nationwide trail. We're a really large kayak bass fishing trail for the state of Florida. But again, Bass, Hobie, KBF, all of these lakes, they have these boundaries. And if we keep going back and changing rules and changing boundaries and changing bodies of water to meet the needs of, a few anglers, that can upset the mass majority of our members. So we're going to do our best to make this club what everybody wants to fish and be a part of. And we definitely love the feedback and the advice that we're getting from our members so that we can make this club better for now and in the future. So this isn't we're here for the long game. So we want to make sure that you guys want to continue to fish this club. Okay. We also know that bass, right? The Florida Bass Nation is kicking off. I know last weekend was the Northeast Division's first event. The Central Florida has their first event this Saturday, and I'm not sure when the Southeast's division is, when their first event is. But I also know that a lot of our anglers fish and compete with those trails as well. Myself, Todd, and Sean included. We're going to be fishing a majority of the Bass Nation events as well. So continue to get out there and support your local clubs as well as those clubs as well. There's going to be some big trails that our Hobie's going to be coming down here in January. So those are some big events that's going to be coming to the Harris chain. And I don't know when KBF is, and I'm assuming I haven't seen the Bass schedule. I don't think Bass, the Elite Kayak Series, is coming to Florida. Are they, Todd? I didn't see it. I don't think they are. I'd have to look. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is the Bass, the Elite Kayak Series, going to be coming to Florida this year? I know Hobie is.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen
okay.
it.
Yeah, if you're watching, drop it in the chat if they are. So we're about to post. Okay, they're not. I didn't think so. So we're gonna be posting some of the yeah, no KBF until Murray in March. More to come with the KBF. I think there's going to be an event here in Florida at some point next year for 2024 with KBF. I'm not sure. I have to talk to Chad on that. But yeah, from what I saw, the only major trail that's coming this year is Hobie, and that's on Harris Chain. So that's going to be a fun event. But one thing that we're going to mention here now too, it's about just our tournament series in general. For our anglers that are out there, make sure that we're going to go through some photos. Todd, can you bring up some photos, fish submission photos, just random?
Yeah, let
If
me
you
see.
can, I'll give you some time. But something that we are going to address here and spend a little bit of time on is photo submissions. Myself and Todd are going to be judging this event. So if we have questions or have issues with your photos, you will be getting messages from us daily or hourly, minute, whatever it is, to make sure that you guys are submitting the proper photos. So again, we have been seeing in the monthlies, in the regular events, some less than stellar photos that are being taken. And that might be primarily because we do have some new members that have joined and might not be familiar with how to take a proper photo. But we want to eliminate any of the confusion and show you guys what a proper fish submission looks like. This is what we want to see when we're judging fish and when our judges are judging fish. Some things that we have seen are crazy shadows that are covering the fish's mouth, touching the bump board. Not allowing the judges to be able to clearly identify if the fish's mouth is touching the bump board. From now on, after today, starting at Kissimmee, if there are drastic angles or shadows that are impeding the view of the judges, that fish submission is going to be DQ'd. If we can see the mouth touching the bump board, it's fine. But there's been some photos where we can barely even see the eye of the fish because the shadow is that dark. So again, if you got to make it hard for us to see, we're going to just say, hey, we're going to DQ it and have you resubmit that fish. So take multiple photos. Be aware of the shadows that are being casted on your fish when you're taking those photos. I know Todd is looking through diligently, but I'll have him. You can pull up mine. It doesn't matter, or anybody else in the club. I know we talked about it a little bit on the post-event wrap-up for Toho, but it's something that I want to talk about, and I feel like it needs to be talked about again before Kissimmee. Again, also, you need to have the approved FKBT 2024 identifier card in your photo. So I'm going to pull up and show you guys what that looks like. That looks like this card right here. This is the approved FKBT tournament identifier card for this season. I'm just going to say this now. This card also, moving forward, needs to be from October, or not October, from December through the end of the year. These identifier cards also need to be present in the monthly tournaments as well. If it is an FKBT sanctioned event, make sure that you are utilizing this card. I actually have a picture of what right looks like. So, oh, sorry. You have it as well. All right, so let's look at this. I don't know whose photo this is. That doesn't even look like it's in Florida, or it may not be. This right here is not a completely overhead photo. One, I think it's missing an identifier. Number one, I don't see an identifier. That's what it's missing, right, Todd?
Yep.
Missing an
So
identifier. Actually, the identifier is on the hand there. I think they allow it,
yeah.
but there's no identifier. But it also drastic angle, and the board looks.
Yeah.
Clean your boards.
Exactly. To be honest, guys, it is very, very difficult on the judge's side to read it. So on your end, everything that you can do to make it easier for the judges, we have told the judges that, if they're having too much trouble with it and they can't decipher what the numbers are, where the lines are, any of those kind of things, to DQ it. So if there's, if there's a shadow where you can't see the bass's mouth touching the bump board, it's going to be DQ. If the judge cannot distinctly tell whether that mouth is touching or if that mouth has a crack or not in it, it's going to be DQ. If it does not have a sticker or a contrasting mark that's on the fence of the board, see how the mark is on this one, the sticker there? If it's not at least 2 inches so that you can tell a difference, of where that fish is touching the bump board, it will be DQ.
Yes. Hand placement there is fine. Clean your board. That right there, is that an appropriate photo? Absolutely not. What's missing?
You can't see the bump board.
You can't see the fence of the bump board.
So you cannot tell whether that mouth, from right here, it looks like it's possibly touching, but you cannot tell 100%.
And you don't see the contrasting mark. So I'm going to go on the other. Oh, perfect. Again, same thing. And we can't see the identifier card.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the glare of the sun. Not only for the shadow portion of it, but also the glare of it.
Yeah. So that right there, automatic DQ. Here, again, everything in the front is fine, but we can't identify what the total length of that fish is because they cut it off. You can't even see the end of the tail on that photo.
Yeah.
So here, that's not an approved measuring board, first off, and it has no contrasting mark, and the guy needs to zip up his pants. Inappropriate. But that is not an approved catch device or catch board for our tournaments. And also there's no contrasting mark on the bump board. One thing I don't know if you did this, Todd, but where folks put their identifier like right on the tail of the fish. Do you have one of those?
Don't think I do.
Okay, so I'll talk on that a little bit. I seen it on some of the Toho. I went back and looked, and we review all of the fish submissions, like Sunday or Monday following the tournament. And I noticed there were I forgot who it was, but they would put the card like right next to the tail of the fish. You need to have that off of your board enough to where we can at least an inch or two past the tail, so our judges can see what that overall length is on the fish. And then here, the judge, with that glare where the tail is, you can't even see what that overall, the overall inch is for that fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, to be honest, I pulled these from another club so that we didn't throw any members under the bus.
Yeah. These are other than this person. This is Mitchell. I can tell by his feet. That's weird, right? I know. No, yeah, this is Mitchell. So
you got a fetish.
This is a correct photo. This right here is what we want to see. This is an angle that is directly over the fish. It's no drastic angle. It has a contrasting mark where the judge can clearly see that mouth is touching the bump board. And we can clearly see the identifier card and the code that's associated with, and it's a 2-inch spacing there for us to be able to clearly identify where what the total length is of that fish.
Yep. And here's another good one too.
That's
and this is a good one with hand placement.
Yep. So this right here is another member on our team, Nathaniel. Again, good job with this photo as well. He has 3 contrasting marks. So he has 2 FKBT stickers and a black line. So he's not playing around. We appreciate that. And proper hand placement here. He doesn't necessarily have that 2-inch mark, but he still has a full inch. So we can clearly see there that overall length of that fish. So that there is fine. He just caught a giant that day. So congrats on that. But that is a over the head perfect picture of what we want, what our judges want to see when they are out there judging our fish.
Yeah. And I'm not going to throw Nathaniel under the bus, but put those stickers back on your board.
Yeah, because he removed those stickers on Toho, and we had to have a conversation with him because he did still have a contrasting mark. But since then, we have revised and updated those rules to be more specific in the event that there needs to be a specific diameter sticker, all that fun stuff. So there's no gray area to that rule. For those of you that don't know, it did have an impact on the Toho event. And those standings changed for that matter. So make sure, please, that you read the rules and you understand everything that we have set for this season. Again, it's going to be our third event. We haven't had any major anything major or crazy happen, just some minor things. But again, we're trying to address them now so that they don't continue further into the season, because as we get further in the season, the less we are going to be, the more we're going to be penalizing those anglers for not paying attention to those rules. Again, when you sign, you said, hey, I fully understand and will comply with these rules. You're tying our hands there. If you don't, and we let it slide for you, we got to let it slide for the next angler. So we do provide a standard bump stop sticker. That FKBT sticker that was handed out to every angler at the first event, and that we hand out at every post-event ceremony, you were given a black and or white FKBT bump sticker. Do you have a picture of what that looks like, Todd? I think you have one. We provided stickers to all. We have
it looks
stickers
like this, except smaller.
Yep.
Without
we have those.
Yeah, it looks like that, but will fit right on your boat board.
Yep. We also gave stickers out last year, circle stickers. So those were free that we've been handing out at every event this year. So if you don't have one of those and you're going to be at the Kissimmee event, reach out to Todd, reach out to Chris Clutter, myself, or reach out to Sean and Chris Clutter, because Todd and I won't be there. But yeah, we do have stickers. And if we need to order more, Todd, let's get some more on order, and we'll have extras.
Yeah, we've still got some of the old round ones, the small round ones. Those work. The FKBT, or just whatever,
it could be anything.
You can put Little Debbie on there on the end if you want to, just some kind of sticker on the end. We do appreciate you, those of you repping the club, putting those on there. That's awesome. That puts it out there where a lot of people can see it. But yeah, just any kind of sticker on the end. I mean, I know a guy in a previous club that I was part of. He didn't have the contrasting sticker on the end of his board, and he got DQ'd a couple of fish that he already put on. He went back to the boat ramp, dug through the trash, and found one of those little stickers that they put on like a sausage and biscuit that was on one tinfoil, pulled it off and stuck it on his board so that he could mark.
So just make sure, though, if you can't do that, you make sure that it's a minimum of a 2-inch in diameter. A 2-inch in diameter sticker. So the standard is going to be that FKBT sticker. I've seen a lot of them. If you have any questions, or if you say, hey, does this contrasting mark work, or will it work? I'll make we're going to be making a post. So something that we're going to do a little bit differently now is we're going to have at our captain's meeting, and I'm glad we brought this up, on our captain's meeting starting in Kissimmee, on our members only page, if you're registered, for our event before Thursday, we're going to make a post, and it's going to be a mandatory board check. If you are registered to fish in the Kissimmee event, we are going to do a mandatory board check, and it's going to be virtual. You are going to have to submit a picture of your catch board to a Facebook post, and we're going to review it to make sure that everybody's good to go. We don't want people to pay and spend all day on the water, catch 100-something inches, and then get their fish DQ'd because of a $1 sticker. right? So we're doing everything in our power to make sure that the word gets out there. It's been out there. We've talked about it for months now that this is a requirement. So it shouldn't be nothing new. But another way that we're going to try to limit this from happening again is we're going to do a mandatory board check. If you don't check in mandatory to the board check or post your board in there, what happens? You can't fish. You get DQ'd. It's just like any other event. You check into a KBF event, a Hobie event, a Bass event, they do board checks. So instead of us having you guys go to a mandatory board check-in at 4 o'clock in the morning at a random boat ramp, we're going to do a virtual board check to where you guys can go easy as 1, 2, 3, submit a photo to the to that Facebook post, and you're good to go for that event.
And one of the reasons why we're doing a lot of this, and it's not to cause a lot of trouble and a lot of heartache and all these different rules. It's so that we can have the standards, but it also prepares those that's just starting out, or getting into it or wanting to move up into some of the higher trails or events, like the Hobies and the Bass and the KBFs or whatever. Kind of getting you prepared for what's going to happen there, because they already do all this, right? And so this is just kind of get you prepared for all of those kind of things.
Yeah. Backup boards as well. Yes, I would bring backup boards. I keep 1 or 2 of them in my truck and 1 extra on my kayak at all times. And those also need to have a contrasting mark on the fence. So again, more to come. When do you want the board to be submitted on Facebook for this upcoming event? We're going to I'll create a post here, and I will this tonight, and then you guys can start uploading your photos there to that. Not immediately because it's not posted yet, but once it's posted, I'll tag everyone, and you guys can start uploading it then, so that it's not a last minute rush or you forget it. And so on Thursday at the captain's meeting, we will bump that list of which boards have been submitted to who has been registered, and then we'll let those anglers know then.
Can you pin that post where it
I can, yeah,
stays up there at the top and people can keep submitting to it?
So yes. So what I'm really going to do, Gallagher, he said something about the identifier at 6 or 7 the night before instead of 8. Most people do it at midnight. We did 8 o'clock because that's when you're off the water. So we're gonna keep it at that time. Or no, it's 3 o'clock. 3 p.m. is off the water now. So yeah, you know what? We can post it a little bit earlier. It's no harm, no foul. I mean, we're gonna. It tells us everything if you try to cheat. So
you know what some of the clubs do? Some of the clubs don't post it till the morning of.
Yeah, I know. I fished an event that way, and I was like, I hated it. But last year was midnight, and then I mean, I don't see an issue with us posting at 6 or 7. I mean, it'll give you plenty of time, regardless, to get it on an identifier. So.
Jeff, you can just do like I do, wait until you catch a fish and then start to take a picture and go, oh crap, I don't have the identifier on here. And you're scrambling, trying to find that and writing it on at the same time. So
yeah. It's every time Bailey gets the thumbs up bubble, flood the comments with, it's this, I don't know what Harrelson, I don't know what it is, but it's one of those things. It's like a new feature on Apple. I turned it off.
I don't have it.
Your phone has it, Todd. Quit playing. You know it does.
Well, I've got a Mac. I've got an Apple computer. It's not doing it on that.
I don't know why it does that. Oh well. But yeah, so the release instead of 8, I'll go into the settings and I'll change it to auto generate one for 7. Is 7 okay with you guys? I know some people like to get in bed early, so I understand that. I get that 100%. So okay. Cool. With that, what else did I miss, Todd, for Kissimmee? We hit the photos, we hit the sticker or the contrasting mark and the board, the board check.
Yep. And I tell you one thing that we could go over. We can go over our 3 main sponsors for this event.
I just got another thing where it said someone messaged me. Where was this at? Hold on. Brian J. Smith mentioned, where's the check-in again? I wonder if Brian's watching this. Okay, I thought it was on our messenger. It's on a Facebook post. So I'll comment to that here in a minute. And then yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about our three main sponsors for this
So our
event.
main sponsor, first place, is going to be Dakota Lithium. Second place is going to be Ego Nets or Ego Fishing. And third place is YOLO Tech.
YOLO Tech. That's
And of
right.
course, our
If
big
y'all haven't
bass,
seen,
and of course,
actually
our
here,
big bass sponsor is Spear Point.
and who else we got with Greg? We got Mondo Fishing as well. That throws in a sponsor for big bass as well. Last event, Wendy won big bass and got the big bass check, Spear Point Performance hooks, and a reel from uh, Greg with Mondo Fishing. So I'm going to show y'all something real quick on my kayak that I got from YOLO Tech. And I just want to let you guys know if you guys hadn't seen the folks on or saw our video with the folks that were on Hooked on Headwaters, we were out on Headwaters.
Oh, I think you froze, Bailey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There you go. You're back.
Okay, sorry, I was uploading an image. So we were out on the water heading back in when all the boats were blowing past us to get to the boat ramp, and the Hooked on Headwaters guys that we had on our podcast were out there. And I had my flag, but I also had this. This is my YOLO Tech light that I had bought for the kayak. So this right here is an amazing add to my kayak. You can see this light stick from literally like 5 or 6 miles away. They said they saw me as soon as they entered where we were at, about 4 miles away, 3 miles away. Like that's how quick, that's how far we were. Pretty far up the canal, and when they entered the canal, they said that this right here blinded them. So if you guys are in the market for it's a 360 white light too. If you see the top 6 inches of that light, is a 360 white light. And then the rest of it does an assortment of colors, patterns, whatever. But I think they have it on sale right now on the YOLO Tech website, for a fairly decent price. And it actually comes with a T-Track power mount, that you can put on your tracks, on your what do they call it, the T-Tracks, the T-bolt tracks.
Yeah.
And it screws down, and you know how it has like the two hold on, I'm gonna remove it from the stage. Trying to remove this picture from the stage. Hold on. They have a base that provides the power, and it mounts right to your track. It's a phenomenal light, and I've gotten nothing but compliments from boaters and everybody else that says, "Hey, I can see you from a mile away." And to me, that just gives me the warm and fuzzy. So I know that no one's going to come up and hit me. If you hit me and I have that on, we got bigger problems. So, and that you could ask Harrelson. You can definitely, it's definitely a great tool to have on the kayak. So thought I'd share that with YOLO Tech. I think what we're going to do for this event, Todd, what is Dakota Lithium? What are we going to be able to give away for Dakota Lithium? Do we have that yet?
We don't have them yet, but I believe it's going to be a power box.
Okay, so for Dakota Lithium, giveaway for that's going to be a power box. For our second one, for Ego Fishing, we're going to be giving away one of their nets, and then for YOLO Tech, we're going to do a gift card. We'll get together and we'll give you a gift card. We'll determine what that prize is going to be. But first place, Dakota Lithium power box. Second place, you're going to get an Ego Fishing net, and then third place, you're going to get a YOLO Tech gift card.
Yeah. And so when the power boxes come in, I'll be sure to get it to them, to that individual.
Yep. So we're still waiting on them to give us that for our shipment of stuff to come in from Dakota Lithium. But Todd will be receiving that, and if you get first place, you will be receiving a Dakota Lithium power box.
So I was looking through our Facebook page here, Bailey.
Yes.
Sean, and this may have changed to Coleman, but Sean has posted on November 16th, said post-tournament check-in and awards for Kissimmee is at Shady Oaks Park Boat Ramp.
Yeah, that's Coleman Landing.
Oh, that is Coleman Landing?
Yeah, that is Coleman Landing. Yeah,
Okay.
it's the same. That's just if you look it up on Google and try to look it on the maps, we'll post again on that thing that on the post that I pinned to the members only page. I'll put that address and the time, all that stuff on there so that you guys are aware. It's also on the Fishing Chaos dashboard. It's there, so you guys should have it to utilize. So yes, I saw Chris Arazi. I'll post the link on our members only chat for that light. So we'll get you guys hooked up. But YOLO Tech, the owner of YOLO Tech, I've got to become pretty close, not close with, but we've been communicating lately. So we're trying to work on some stuff. There is going to be there's going to be a link that's going to be sent out for our members to be able to use at some point. I got to get that set up. So once I get that set up, I'll post it to the members only page so that it's like an affiliation program to where we get money back for all of our members and what they purchase, so that we're going to put that towards gifts and stuff at the end of the year. Okay, so yeah, we'll definitely post that link in the members only page. So as well, we'll also have our standard items that we're going to be giving away. We have some items left over after this event. Yeah, so they also have a combo light and GoPro mount. Yeah, and also any YOLO Tech accessory. I'll post the base that I have, and that base will supply power to any YOLO Tech accessory that you got. That you purchase. So they're definitely a great product, and I've thoroughly enjoyed mine. I get nothing but compliments at the boat ramp. I use it as a light as I'm setting up my my rig in the morning. So yeah, okay. And we appreciate our sponsors too, for stepping up and really making this club what it is, because without them, we wouldn't be able to give away some of the products that we have at each one of our events. So again, we appreciate them. We're going to work with Catch. Catch is going to be, I'm going to work with them. They're going to be one of our main sponsors for our next event. So I'm going to be reaching out to them to do some pretty cool things, but they are also going to be doing our Angler of the Year and our championship trophies this year. So we're going to be getting some pretty cool hardware for our FKBT championship from Catch. So yeah, that's going to be really neat. I know Thomas Woodring got the first Catch Angler of the Year trophy this past year. So it's going to be for Angler of the Year and for our top performers, our top finishers at our championship that are going to be getting checks and Catch trophies this year. So more to come with that. But yeah, like to go ahead, Todd, we can go ahead and thank some of our sponsors. If you guys have any questions too, drop them in the comment section below.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mondo's Fishing, of course, Catch Outdoor or Catch Boards, Strike King, Mock Loose, Rogue Fishing, Yak Attack, Dakota Lithium, Ego Fishing, YOLO Tech, Rogue Fishing or Rogue Gear now. Van Hunks, of course. Van Hunks, they have really supported our club, from the beginning and really go above and beyond for us.
Yeah.
So we can't say enough great things about them. 13 Fishing, Torpedo, Torn Outdoors, Spear Point, Performance Hooks, Cross Kicks. Let's see, who am I
We
missing?
gotta add a really cool guy. So I met a guy at ICAST this year when we went there. And he is a marketing coordinator. He does something, but he's an awesome guy. And what he's done, I don't know if you guys saw our post, but Twist Lock beverage locking system is a company that I reached out to them and created this relationship with them from ICAST. They're from like the Northwest. They build like airplane parts and stuff, but they've invented this locking system on the bottom of your beverage tumblers. And they stepped up in a huge way, and they have donated about 15 of these tumblers, twist lock tumblers, and they went ahead and they engraved our logo on it. And then these are your koozies, like your insulated koozies with the locking system.
That's my favorite.
Yes. These are
They
awesome. And
love
then
hockey.
they also have a much taller, skinnier tumbler, as well, with the same locking mechanism on the bottom of them. And we're going to be giving away these throughout the remainder of the year, as well as with multiple different base attachments that they have. They have some that are like a wristband that you could put around your Hobie H rail, your bike handle. I mean, anything. And they have small ones that are that'll go inside your cup holder. I have them mounted all over my kayak, but the reason I do it is so it keeps my drinks cold while I'm out there fishing, or warm in this colder weather. So if you guys want, reach out to them. I'll post a link to their page, and they gave us a discount code. I'm going to say the discount code on here, because I think it's an amazing product, and I think the more that people get to know this company, the better. So they gave us a code of FKBT10, for you to get 10% of off your order when you use that code. So these are just like your Yeti, just like your Stanley cups, but the only difference is they got that locking mechanism there on the bottom, where once you do that, if you flip your kayak, this ain't going out. If you're putting it on your bike, because it can go on your bike, Todd has it on his golf cart or on his bicycle, it don't go nowhere. I promise you that. I've done a lot of tests on it and reviews and sent it back to him, and it's been phenomenal. They do also have a cup holder that I don't know if I'm allowed to share yet, but there's going to be that will probably be in the works, and something that I'll be able to give you guys access to next year, after they go work through all of the legal stuff. But it's going to be phenomenal as well. And it also has the twist lock mechanism in that. So really good product. They hopped on board and sent me a huge box of like $2,000 worth of these things to give away to you guys. So looking forward to that. And Harrelson says, "Are we going to have a rookie of the year?"
That would be me.
So we hadn't talked about that. Oh, we did talk about that for a little bit. I would say we're gonna have to talk about that. We're gonna have to come up, and I don't see why we wouldn't. But I don't know. I got to talk to the folks over at Fishing Chaos on how we could track that like we do Angler of the Year. It might just be the rookie who finishes the highest in Angler of the Year points. So we didn't incorporate that into our rules for the 2024 season. But there might be something that we can do to highlight the rookie. Rookie meaning this is their first year, obviously, fishing on the trail. So we have quite a few new anglers that are fishing the FKBT this year. So we'll talk about that. We'll bring that up again at our next live. And Todd, hold me accountable so that we talk about that offline, so we can get a foundation for that on what that might look like. So good question there, Harrelson. Good question for that. Any other questions? All right. We appreciate you guys, man. It's going to be it's been a great year so far. We're looking forward to the Lake Kissimmee event. I know me and Todd aren't going to be able to be out there. We hate that. But we're going to be there we're going to be able to make sure that you guys have a successful event. If your fish get DQ'd and you don't respond to our texts or whatever, if you have questions, reach out to us. We'll be able to answer it and provide you guys that reasoning. But we're at an hour and 18 minutes, Todd. I think we extended our welcoming.
And we wasn't expecting to go this long with just you and I. We thought it was going to be a quick night.
Yeah. But it's good questions, and I want to make sure that you guys are getting taken care of as we continue on this season. So again, it's December 1st, so it's starting that holiday season. So I appreciate you guys going out there and supporting our sponsors. I saw Amy posted something about Yak Attack. So we really do appreciate you guys going out there and showing support to our sponsors. When you use those codes, it tells them that our members are utilizing the codes that they're given to them, that they have given to us. So when you do that, that just tells those clubs that, hey, in the future, when we request more, they would be more willing to do more for our club. So with that, keep doing what you're doing. Good luck to all our anglers out there that are competing this weekend with the Central Bass Nation events. Mitchell, I know I saw Mitchell, Thomas Woodring. I know Doug is going to be out there. If I missed a few, I was looking at the registration for that. I saw quite a few names. Good luck out there. Bring home some hardware.
Take home one of my
So,
checks.
right, that's right. Todd also dips into that as well and provides in those checks. So, again, be safe out there this weekend. If it's cold, make sure you bundle up, but be smart out on the water. Catch some fish and post all your successes on our page so that we can highlight everything you guys are doing across the state. So, stay safe and tight lines, and we'll see you guys next Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Good
Later.
luck, guys. See ya.